and welcome to the DNS Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Dan.
So today, guys, we've got our raffle draw. So anyone that shared the podcast on their Instagram went into the draw to win a free DNS prize pack. So we've got the draw here. But we're going to have a little chat to you about DNS plans for the remainder of the year, answer some of your questions, and then we got some really good guests coming up for the next 2 episodes, don't we?
We have, a couple of good ones.
Well, Big Luke Reynolds.
And the Gov.
The Gov. So anyone that's followed strength sports in Australia for a while knows Mike Jones.
He has no social media, so we can really...
He's kind of that urban legend, isn't he? So
stay up to date with what he's doing, and you only sort of see it when he's in training. So
yeah,
bit of a mystery man, and he's got some cracking experience within strongman.
Well, you did have that theory that he's secretly got Instagram.
Yeah, he could secretly have it there, and he could be seeing what everyone else is doing. But yeah, he's not posting himself, is he? He likes to keep himself wrapped up, and yeah. So it would be good to have a chat with him and go through some cool stories he's done in the past, powerlifting and strongman.
So there are next 2 episodes coming up. We'll do our draw at the end, but today we just want to go over a little bit more about what DNS is. We've talked a lot about our history, what we enjoy, what we plan on doing. But we thought we'd give you a better insight into what the brand is as a whole, and where we plan to take it over the next 12, 18 months, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it may be. So I guess the first thing is, first and foremost, DNS is an apparel brand. I know we said that a couple of times, but there seems to be, because Dan and I do both coach at Adonis Athletics Penrith, there seems to have been a little bit of confusion.
A bit of a crossover, yeah.
Yeah, so DNS is separate to Adonis. They're 2 different things. This was something Dan and I thought would be fun to do, really, didn't we?
It was a passion project. But yeah, the mainstream is obviously the apparel, and the podcast is a way for us to communicate.
Yeah, just talk
as
to
Dan and
people.
Sean.
Yep, hence the 2 mugs on the logo.
Yeah.
So who made that for us?
It's a guy in England. I got in contact with a chap, Zach Tallender, who runs a podcast with Max Aita called The Trainer Make, and he had one made up, like an animated picture, and got in contact with him, and he put me in contact with this lad in England. And I thought he did a pretty good job, didn't he?
Very good job.
I would give him a shout out, but I think it was something artistry or something, but I can't remember exactly what it is. I don't want to give you the wrong one, but yeah, we just so I sent a couple of photos over. We sent a couple of photos over, and he put that together.
Yeah,
pretty good job.
I think off topic already. Bloody hell, that's a record for us. 3 minutes in.
Well, it took us half an hour to set this up, so we're all a bit all over the place at the minute.
It did.
This is our 10th episode, and yeah, we had problems with the camera, and we couldn't get the sound working. So
our first proper technical glitch today, wasn't it?
Proper technical F up. So.
But yeah, so first and foremost, we are an apparel brand. We're working on new merchandise, new designs for our October release. We use that apparel to basically support strength sports and strength athletes. It's a way for us to have a broader reach and be more involved, not just through the gym, but in other areas. Like, this is Adonis Athletics Penrith that we co-own and train out of and coach out of. We're not going to take Penrith to Melbourne or to Brisbane, are we? So, or anywhere, Perth, wherever you are in Australia. So it's a way for us to do that, and give some up and coming and aspiring athletes the opportunity to chase some dreams where
you can help them out financially, obviously,
yeah,
with the comp fees, and promote them as well.
Yeah.
Through the apparel. We did a cool little video with Chrissy Campbell, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Chrissy. So you'll see this later on. But yeah, got to go up there and get some videos of him training and show everyone what he's doing up there, because he's working pretty hard. He's got some pretty cool goals he's chasing, and we want to be a part of that and help him out as much as we can.
And we want to put how do they say it? Well, like walk the walk. So we put ourselves through a CrossFit workout.
We did. We jumped into his round, didn't we?
Which is something neither of us have ever done.
Yeah, we were pretty nervous driving up that Saturday.
Just didn't know what was involved, but
it was pretty. I mean, looking at it after, it was actually quite funny. You get quite a big adrenaline rush. Like, we don't do anything with our heart rate that high for that long, do we?
no.
Our training's very sort of static and high intensive, short duration, and that was something completely different. We were rowing. We had to do 30 rows on the 30 cows on the rower into 30 wall balls, 20 cows, 20 wall balls, 10 cows, and that wasn't really an extensive workout apparently.
No, I mean we both finished. Even myself, we were both done in about 15 minutes, which supposedly is an okay time. I'd like to think phenomenal. So I've never seen a 160 kilo CrossFitter.
Yeah, no, you did a very good job.
But like it was different for us.
Yeah, it was, definitely took us out of our comfort zone.
We were coughing all the way home.
Not saying that I want to do it anytime soon.
No, I get the wrong idea, Chris.
But yeah, we were coughing. That was some sort of physiological.
I think it just
response.
opened up the lungs, didn't it?
Yeah, we haven't. It was like literally must have as close as I felt to smoking 50 a day. I've never smoked 50 a day in my life.
I was a pack a day smoker once a time, and it didn't feel like that. It reminded me of when I used to get made to do cross country at school.
Yeah, cross country and bleep test, another one that used to.
Yeah.
You get the old. I don't know if you had it. My teeth started to itch. Really weird. Since I don't know what that is. But I had like itchy gums.
Itchy.
Like, I don't know if that's the build up of lactate in my body or. That was one thing I remember. The coughing and the itchy teeth.
The worst thing you can do is leave a gym coughing.
Itchy teeth. Yeah, especially in this current climate. Maybe I'm drinking too many of these. I don't know.
So, probably your first. I haven't seen you drink an energy drink for a while. It's got to be your first review.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not known for my energy drinks. I'll have a coffee or a bit of pre-workout before I train, but
I've not been big on them lately. But when you bought these ones in, and they taste like a tangerine.
They taste like Fanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Fanta. Fanta's a really nice drink. But yeah, we just went for lunch and we didn't have a drink, did we? So we needed something sweet on the old tooth.
But, so yeah, it's that. So we'll slowly introduce other athletes. We want to be in every realm of strength sports and barbell work. So weightlifting, strongman, and powerlifting to come. We're not rushing to find or to bring people on necessarily. We want the right person. We want to be with these people for a long time.
Exactly.
So and we also want people that want to be part of the sport for a long time. One thing we'll probably discuss with Luke and even Mike is people's tendency to jump into a sport and want glory very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's quite a popular thing these days. People just think they can jump in and become a pro. It takes years of to master your craft, and obviously strongman, powerlifting, weightlifting, it's a strength-based sport. But obviously within those sports there are different skill sets and techniques required, and they're not just overnight. There obviously will be some carryover, just in overall maximal strength, but you need to spend a bit of time in those disciplines, mastering your craft, and treat it with a bit of respect, I think.
Unfortunately, in the age of Instagram, people see 300 kilos, 350, 400 so often. Well, these were numbers that 5 years ago even were, someone pulling 300 in a local powerlifting meet.
It's a big number.
Was huge.
And you got 60 odd kilo.
Well, so
people pulling it on the regs.
It's I think Instagram's had a bit to do with that.
Even modern society, everyone thinks. I think not everyone, but I think there's a big thing going around, and people deserve things instantly, and there's a little bit of a process involved, and I think people are quite quick to sort of jump and think that they deserve success where it's not given. You've got to spend your time in there and stick your feet in the trenches and get to work.
Spend a bit of time. Like, strength is built over time. You get the for lack of a better term, that newbie gains phase where your strength will grow quite quickly as your body adapts, but that will slow down over time, and you're gonna just have to keep working away. So,
and that's not us having a chip at anyone who wants to give
not
different
by any
thing.
means.
That's absolutely, but what we preach. Obviously, we deal with strength sport athletes on a daily basis. That's our job, and we always, we're pretty good at sort of explaining the sort of process that's involved, and not to get your hopes up too early, I suppose.
Don't rush it.
Don't rush it, because you're gonna step on injuries, and you might have a bad experience that might throw you out of training, powerlifting, weightlifting, or strongman, or whatever it is. We want people to stay in there. We see a massive value behind all these things, and we want people to stick around and enjoy it, and if they want to compete, great.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for in our sponsored athletes. The DNS team is people who want to compete, who do this because they love it and they're passionate about their sport. So by the time people are listening to this, the WOD video of us with Chris will be up on YouTube.
I'm looking forward to having a little watch of that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That comes. We get that tonight, our time, when this has been recorded.
So I can see us both struggling. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to see us see us struggling.
I did say to Ryan that when I fell off the rower and rolled over and told them that they need to find drugs and rock and roll, my ass is hanging out.
Your arsehole, half your arsehole. Luckily it wasn't your asshole, it was actually your ass crack.
Yeah.
I sort of turned over. Just this steam roll off your back, murmuring. All I could do was sex and rock and roll, and everyone was sort of looking over.
Right, please cut that bit out. Maybe we'll save it for a blooper and blur my crack.
Yeah.
But people, when we sign these people, when they come on as part of the brand, we want to be able to. We were going to come to you, and we want to train with you. This is all about
together in strength. That's our hashtag. Together in strength. So yeah, having a little bit of
family
taste.
without being corny,
Yeah, we're not corny.
Sentimental.
Sentimental.
Not corny.
Not really. Well, that's sentimental. We're British. Yes. I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, yeah. I mean, in terms of going back to those guests, there are a couple. In Tahuna as well, someone who spent years mastering his craft, and before I think he made his UFC debut at the age of 29, and he'd been in the sport since he was 14.
He'd been boxing since he was 12 or something.
Been in combat sports since he was 12, 13 years old.
22 years
14.
in combat sport, he said.
Skills take time to.
Well, you've got 20. God, I'm a grumpy old man today. You got people that start powerlifting at 16, 17, and they finish their career by the time they're 22 years old. And Jay spent 22 years punching and getting punched. It's
a lot of time in the trenches. Going through, it's like when you work for a business, you go through an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Learn your trade, and then there's many years after that perfecting your craft. And I think the longer you can stay in there, I think sometimes as well. With Instagram and people can see so much going on.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of lose that tunnel vision a little bit. It's like, oh, that looks quite fun. I might just jump over there a little bit and spice things up. But I think that's great. That we haven't. There's nothing against. Nothing against that. But I think in terms of maybe expectations and trying to gain some accolades in that, you have to stick around. You're not. Not everyone is Larry Wheels.
No.
The genetic freaks. It takes a bit of time.
It's going to bite me in the arse saying this, but
we're a bit of a rant here, aren't we?
I know.
Where's this come from?
I don't know. I think we're trying to outline the brand, and we start ranting. But in October, I'm going to try weightlifting just for some fun. I've got no expectation. It's not something that I plan to pursue at a high level. It's just something I want to try once and then come back to Strongman and Highland Games. Great thing about Strongman and Highland Games is there's great carryover between the two.
They work hand in hand.
But so by all means, try things, and if you like it, stick with it. It's the
don't look for instant success.
Yeah, definitely.
I suppose that's the rant, isn't it? Stick around. I think Mike's gonna have some good things to say about that on Saturday.
Both of them are.
Two people that have been, Luke and Gov, that
And the hardest
been
part,
knees deep in it.
and I think they're both going to be very good for this, same as Jay was with all his recos and surgeries. Coming back after injury is a big thing.
Yeah, I think that's the true test, isn't it?
Can you keep going after you've been injured?
Can you keep going? Yeah, how do you recover? And mentally and physically.
Yeah.
It's easy to...
Poor old Luke in the last 12 months, and he'll elaborate on this next week, but like bicep tear, hammy tear.
All in the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just got on over the bicep and then the hammy happens.
Yeah. Was it pec? Did he do pec on a bench?
No, that was Jordan, wasn't it? No, hang on. He tore their pec on a bicep.
I think it was
on a bench press.
It was Luke. Was it Luke? I don't know.
Oh, maybe it was at Andy's.
Yeah.
I don't know. He'll fill us in. So, to bring it all the way back round, back to the start. Now we've gone through the houses.
Yeah.
We are an apparel brand first and foremost. We do just love strength sports. We want to support strength sports and the people that participate in them in a different way that we can't through Adonis. So, for those that have been a little bit confused about the two of them,
Separate things.
two separate things, both very passionate. We're passionate about both.
Absolutely.
But it's
just another avenue to communicate and
yeah.
give a product that we're passionate about.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, really. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Should we break this up with a little draw?
Yeah, let's have a little draw.
We'll break this up. So this was the draw for the people that shared our story.
Yep.
For a prize pack. I'm going to put a little prize pack together for the lucky winner.
You want to give it a shake and
Give it a shake.
you're going to pick or I'll pick?
No, you can pick. Using the Knockout Nutrition
Anthony.
shaker cup. Good old A.
Fun cupboard.
Is it just one pick?
Yeah.
Who we got?
Here we go. Madlo!
Oh, there you go.
If you can read
Mad Jeezy. Mad's on the script.
Yeah.
So you will be receiving
Madlo.
a little care package very soon. Madlo is, she's a member at Penrith, so we'll get that to her as soon as possible.
Since Mads is a member at Penrith, let's draw another one. We'll give away two.
Right, you feel generous.
I am.
So you pick this one?
You pick this one.
If I get my friggin' hand in there, mate.
Hang on. This is going to sound stupid on the audio, but it makes sense if you watch the video, guys. DNS Strength Collective on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Griffo! There you go. One guy, one girl. Griffo, you've got a pack coming to you as well. So we'll message you both on Instagram, letting you know that you've won. We'll get your sizes and we'll get that out to you. So.
There you go. Happy days.
Alright, we've cleared up what DNS is, or reiterated what DNS is about.
We went around the houses a bit, I think.
Went around the houses, had a bit of a rant, but that's us. That's Thursday and the Riffler.
And the Ribby.
Let's have a quick crack at a couple of these questions. We'll try and keep this one short, just because
We had a couple of questions.
I know we've got a couple of long ones coming up.
Bring in. What we got? I put a couple on my personal one as well. We'll start with the old DNS.
Goodness.
Oh, mother. English Power.
Timmy.
Timmy boy. Thoughts on WSM Home Edition? Raw Strongest Man.
The Snapchat Home Edition. Have you seen it?
I very rarely go on Snapchat anymore, but I have seen a few of the videos that have been posted. I think Eddie Williams was doing a barbecue deadlift. I think it's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's nothing,
Yeah.
There's no real...
No, it was a great way for people to be entertained. I think Snapchat's a bizarre platform for it. I kind of forget Snapchat's a thing.
I know, with the Instagram story thing coming around, that kind of took over Snapchat, didn't it? The story thing.
Yeah. I remember everyone laughing when Instagram stories came out, and they're just copying Snapchat, and now it's kind of taken over.
Do Instagram own Snapchat or not?
Nah, Instagram and Facebook are linked. I don't know what I'm assuming Facebook owns.
But yeah, I mean, it's been great because at the end of the day, it's promoting the sport, right?
Yeah.
And we're promoting these characters that are within it. We're building characters, and I think that's what makes a...
I mean, you had Luke Stoltman do his log in his budgie smugglers.
Yeah.
He pretended to cut down a tree and then did reps of a log and budgies.
Some fun. Eddie Hall's been reffing.
Yeah, he's been presenting.
Rongo King's been in some videos.
Rongo might have won overall.
Yeah.
Him and Nick Best, I think, were in the final.
How do you win it?
It's voted on. So when you watch the Snapchat story, you vote on who won that round.
So you make up an event pretty much at your home. So you just pick something you can lift, whatever, and then you just.
So they'll give you like for example, Eddie's barbecue deadlift was like, okay, here's the most creative deadlift. Go make a video of deadlifting.
Oh, make a video, yeah.
So Eddie did the barbecues, and Nick Best, who's 51, 52, pulled 600 pounds for reps. And just banged out reps. And if you've ever seen Nick Best deadlift, go and have a look. He's got a really, really narrow stance. And it's kind of really, it's so cool to watch.
I think, well, the way he's pushing his numbers up at that age, I think is
phenomenal.
Amazing. But I think he came to the sport a little bit later on.
Yeah.
So obviously his wear and tear is not like someone who's been smashing himself.
Kind of like Felix.
Yeah, coming to the sport a little bit later on, and yeah, he's really good to watch. Best. I've seen him for a few years. I think he powerlifting for a while.
I'm not sure.
I think he was powerlifting or something, but seems
Actually,
like
a really good show with him, Oberst.
That's right, the history of strongman.
Yeah. Strongest man in history.
I've seen a few of those. They don't air that in Australia, do they?
No, it was
YouTube.
History Channel.
Yeah. So UK would have had it. We would have had that out there back at home.
I suppose if you got like Foxtel and you got the History Channel, you could watch it here.
Eddie Hall did one of the most impressive things I think I've ever seen. He did that single arm extended 500 pound
stand up
525.
Yeah.
So they had a barbell with it was between 220 and 240 kilos, and stood underneath it with a strap, the extended arm, and stood it up.
Yeah.
I think that's insane. I think that's one of the craziest things I've seen. That just is just unbelievable. Just I think it goes to show that the strength in that bloke's shoulders is just.
It's phenomenal.
Overall, he's just mental.
What else we got?
What we wrap up that? Yeah, Timmy, to answer the question.
It was
short, mate.
It was
great.
a great idea. Really weird platform to put it out on. I think it would have done better on Instagram or YouTube or something. Or Facebook TV.
Another one. If you could have anyone turn up at the gym, who would it be? Brackets, not family.
Okay. I love my family, but I wouldn't want them here. I'm working. I'm here to do a job. You've seen it with like school holidays. I love the girls come down. Jess has to come down as soon as she finishes work and grab them. So
a cut off period.
Yeah, there is.
Love you,
but get under my feet. I'm trying to work.
Who would you have? Who would be if you could have someone come in for any particular reason? That's a difficult question. A good question.
Very good question.
That was actually from my mother. Good on you, Mum.
She's Mama Wally.
One of our biggest supporters, isn't she?
She is, likes everything, bless her.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? This sounds stupid, but
Del Boy.
No, well, David Jason. You know what? I'd like Tyson. I'm looking forward to Tyson coming down.
This is your coach?
Yeah, it's my coach, Tyson Morrissey, phenomenal 105 competitor. I think Tyson, he's just someone's brain I'd like to pick in terms of training, coaching, business. Because
he runs a facility which is a similar sort of model.
Strong Geelong. He's got a really big online business. He's got his fingers, in a few pies, so to speak.
I've followed Tyson for a little, obviously for yourself, and watching how he really walks the walk as well. He's out there. He's training. I think he's doing some powerlifting stuff in the minute, isn't he? He's been following him doing that.
He's opening up, or he's upgrading his facility, so he's got a new building which he's moving Strong Geelong into, which looks brilliant. And Mason's making a whole bunch of custom kit for him.
Yeah, actually been following that. Yeah, it looks like an amazing space.
Like you see the
loading platforms.
Yeah, that he put up this morning.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'll be looking forward to seeing that.
I'm looking forward to seeing the power stairs. I think he's got some metal power stairs being made.
Some metal ones, okay. Yeah, we got some timber ones, didn't we? Good old Cameron made us some. That was a funny one, the power stairs, wasn't it? The hardest part was getting the weight from the top to the bottom. We pretty much did everything, didn't we? We nearly had somebody fall off, and we did have someone fall off them. 3 steps up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Big lad.
No, well,
Oh, it's Paulie. Yeah, you're right.
On Saturday morning.
Yeah, he tripped up on one of the steps, and yeah, he went over backwards, didn't he? Sideways and backwards. Another one of those events that gives us mild anxiety.
Well, we don't do it anymore. They've become like a storage block because it's
great little storage block.
So hard to get the thing down.
Yeah, we've got clips on the side of it. The farmers hung up chains, and we've got all the steps. We just use it as storage. So
we'll do it again. Like we said, we'll do it like once a year. So at some point this year we'll break them out again.
Maybe we'll miss this year.
Never for a comp. Just on a Saturday.
We ended up taking them down. At one stage it was I stand at the top, you'd be down on the timer, and then you have to walk them down one step at a time. It's a training session in itself.
What about yourself? Who would you have down?
I don't know. Who would I like to see through the... I don't know, really. That's a difficult question. I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't thought about it. Who would I like to see come through? I suppose... I don't know. It's pretty put on the spot there. I'll answer next week. I'm going to have a proper think about that one. I don't know. I'm actually blank on that one. I can't think.
See, one of the reasons I say Tyson is, one, I'd like to pick his brain on a bunch of different areas, but two, like, I'm not going to say like a Charlet or a, someone that I look up to in the sport, because as we've learned, you never meet your heroes. So I'm not saying that Loz or any of the guys I look up to are dodgy, but after one of our experiences, I just don't want to anymore.
Loz I've met Loz a handful of times, he's a champion bloke.
His YouTube's doing really well.
Yeah, he's doing some really good podcasts, getting some good guests.
I've been enjoying that a lot.
Actually, no, I will answer the question. So I think someone who I'd like to come in, I'm going to stay on your sort of lines of picking brains and stuff. It's Mike Desher at RTS Training Systems.
Yeah.
I think he's got a great mind. I love watching his videos and listening to his stuff. Someone who's been around the powerlifting scene for years. He's been around from the raw days from the beginning. And he sort of brought the RPE system to light in relation to strength. And I just think he's got a good mind. I think just to have him around the place and have a chat with him and listen to what he's got to say and experiences and stuff, I think that would definitely get me the tail up.
And you're going to add one more, and I think this will be sort of, I don't know if you want him here, but you know him, Mike Wadango.
Dango.
I'd like to get him out here.
He'd be interesting. He'd probably upset a few people.
That's right, so do I.
Yeah, no, he'd be great. He's actually, funnily enough, because Kevin Love's, he's called a personal trainer or whatever you want to call it. He's the S&C coach. And Kevin got picked to come, they do a world tour like an NBA.
Yeah.
And he was actually going to come down and he was going to bring Mike along with him. And he said he would have popped through, but it all fell through last minute. That was last year, but I can't remember what it fell through. I think Kevin ended up playing or something, but yeah, he would have been here, he would have come through.
He just seems like an interesting bloke. Like, so obviously you guys did your DeFranco days together where he lifted heavy, and now he seems to be quite into the holistic stuff.
Well, yeah, and funny enough you say that, he did a Q&A today, and I said, when are you going to start putting on the cut-off sweatshirt, ripping into the pre-workout, and slamming some weight around? And he said as soon as the gym reopens, so
nice.
I might be back into that.
There you go. So yeah,
he's studying some Chinese medicine stuff, and yeah, he's a little, from what I can see, his personality's maybe calmed down a little bit since I was over there. But maybe in terms of minds, in terms of picking brains, honestly, I'm pretty happy to say he's got an unbelievable mind as an intellect, a coach, and he's just an interesting character.
Yeah, so he'd be another one for me.
No, he would be good.
Next question.
Oh, crikey.
I'll just stop. I'm going to hit record again. So I can link them together. Sorry, boys, you're going to just have to do a little transition here.
I try now.
Alright, ready?
No, I'll go on to my personal one.
Let me know when you're
ready.
ready.
Go on, mate. You ready?
Next question.
Next question from Viva LaHaley, one of our members down on the floor there, one of our weightlifters. Visualization before a lift. Good to hear thoughts from strongman versus weightlifting.
I'm not sure if it's versus weightlifting.
Yeah, there's visualization, your mental approach to any lift. It doesn't matter really what the. I suppose you can dive down some rabbit holes here, but
yeah,
it needs to be a clear thought process.
I think if you've talked yourself out of it before you even approach the weight, be it a bar or whatever the weight is.
I suppose, I mean, if we dive into the movements, something like a snatch, which I would class as quite a technical movement, or a clean and jerk, where there are some key positions that we need to hit. And this is something I've found myself, is that if I'm thinking about positions or too many things at once, the lift turns to absolute shit.
Because you're almost trying to hit off checkpoints as you go through.
Yeah, and the speed of the bar just dies off. So for me, my visualization, or my approach to the bar now is literally one thing. And it's not really to do really much with positioning. My positioning comes from my start position, and then from there I'm just trying to put force into the bar. But I think through your warm-ups, you can kind of, when you start with the bar, you're just kind of priming the body to put it in the right place. But as soon as we start putting weight on the bar, that's all done with a barbell. But then when weight goes on there, I think we're just looking for that rate of force then, and get the bar moving.
Yeah.
I think you can really come unstuck there if there's too many things going on. Everyone's different, I suppose. Everyone's personality is a little bit different.
I think for me, I'm not. I'm a sort of an in the moment lifter, so generally I'll know if I'm going to get it or not. I know what's reasonable weight for me and how far I can push myself when I need to. So it's a case of just getting on with it.
Yeah, just getting in a good headspace.
Yeah, I think one thing you can't do is get frustrated with the weight.
Yeah. Your body does a lot of weird and wonderful things when you're in that state. You start going into that fight or flight mode, and
like Priscilla on Monday with the yoke, like when
Priscilla,
bless him, that's a weight that he can do comfortably, but he got, I don't know whether he got overconfident or he got sloppy, and the weight started to throw him around. He was getting angrier and angrier with it. And then he slaps the yoke and yells, and I saw you look at me and try not to chuckle. And then he calmed down, and he got back under it, and he got on with it. And his last 2 runs were his best for that night.
Yeah, it's kind. You gotta your visualization is gonna be individual. But some people are going to be able to be a little bit more technical with the visualization, and some people are literally have to it's got to be a clean slate, and you've just got to go. Otherwise, a lot of weird things may happen along the way, especially with a more technical lift. But good question from Haley. Actually, we had one from Aaron Animal Kid.
Asa.
Yeah, Asa. How to train with more intent and aggression. That's a good one. How to train with more intent and aggression. I suppose it starts with when you come in the gym, and we've discussed this before. But if you want to roll around a foam roller for half an hour, and if you wanna, and this is no disrespect to any sort of mobility drill or whatever, but if you want to spend the first hour of your session in such a relaxed, namby-pamby state, I think that can really carry over to when you start touching the barbell.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be a limit on, obviously some people are going to need to have to do this rehab stuff to address some sort of imbalance or some sort of pain issue.
There's a time and a place for it though.
A time and a place, and how do we build it within the structure that it's not going to completely take away from the work that we need to do?
No.
So obviously, your intent and your, I suppose, controlled aggression in a workout, really starts with how you begin it and how you go through your warm-up sets. For example, in a deadlift, if if you look at old videos, we grew up watching videos of like Andy Bolton, Lily Bridge. These guys, when they are doing their warm-up from 60 kilos up to 400, they are literally putting, whenever they touch that barbell, they're putting maximal intent. They're putting like 500 kilos worth of force generation into the barbell. And I think that is what's going to carry up to your top set and what's going to carry over. If you are scraping around treating the barbell like you're mopping the floor, I think that's going to have some negative effects when you get up to your working sets.
I think you're right. It's you pull your warm-up weights. You pull 60 the same way you pull 100, the same way you pull 200, the same way you pull 3, whatever your top set is.
Yeah, and and then the bad days, you might get some out of it. If you're having a bad day and you're moping around with that bar, it's going to go to shit real quick. If you want to make the most out of a crappy situation, I think you have to have that mindset, that intent, and that controlled aggression to get it done. But yeah, I think it really does start from how you approach it. That's not to say you walk in the gym and you start throwing that bar against the ceiling as hard as you can, because things are going to break. That's gonna things are going to break. But you need to get yourself to a point where when weight starts coming onto the bar, it needs to be moved with some urgency and some intent. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I mean, look, in terms of aggression, you've also got to, I think intent's very important, and aggression is down to an individual's emotional intelligence, their level of...
And being within themselves. Yeah. It's not to a point where you start putting all this aggression and intent into the bar and your technique suffers drastically, because that defeats the whole object of it. It has to be, that's why stress, it needs to be controlled.
Yeah.
It needs to fit your bill. But yeah, treat your warm-ups with respect, maximum intention, working on speed, intent. I think once you start doing that, it can have some positive effects on your working sets or your top sets, whatever it may be.
Nice. I hope we've answered that for you, Az. I think Az is probably the best.
But yeah, in terms of someone to look at in their training who promotes that,
Aaron.
Yeah, I remember a session where he hang snatched 185 and then clean 220, and he was literally growling. I've got the video, growling at 50 kilos. So the session's either going to go either way, but it definitely goes in the favour of being a good one if you growl at 50 kilos. So yeah, he's a great advocate for training with, I'd say, controlled aggression, definitely control when he lifts. Yeah. And it pays off, and the results speak for themselves.
The other thing is that Aaron's very, very, very good at, very, like, it's definitely controlled. Aaron's aggression is there in that moment of lifting, but once that session's finished, he's not even got the weights off the bar. He's the nicest guy.
Literally, yeah.
Because we've been down to 168 a few times, and we'll walk in, and he's on these last few sets, and he gets them done. He'll acknowledge it we're there, but he doesn't finish. He doesn't interrupt his session. Well, and then he knocks it off, and he comes over. Exactly. It's a handshake. It's a hug. It's how are you, brother?
Yeah.
What do you got today? How can I help?
Maximal focus on the task in hand. Because the first time we went up there, we went in, and he was in the middle of his section, and he didn't even acknowledge us. Yeah. It was like, oh, crikey, I don't know what's going on. And he was in the middle of working up to a heavy single in the clean and jerk, and all he had focus on was his coach and the bar on the floor. But then when that was all said and done, and he'd finished up, he's loading plates on bars for people. He's helping coaching people, shaking hands, giving out hugs and critique.
I've always liked, this sounds stupid, but I've always liked the idea of putting a Faraday cage in the roof of the gym, so that people can use their phones to record their sets, but they can't sit there and flick through Instagram on it. Yeah, that can definitely slow a session down. Yeah. If you get in the depths of Instagram through your set, that's I've got to get in there. I've got to get in a better habit of leaving my phone on my desk. If I get an email mid-session, I need to attend to that email there and then, otherwise I'll forget it, and that interrupts my training. Whereas if my phone's upstairs, I can come back to the email and I can answer it there and then, but I've at least had pure focus on what I'm doing down there. That was one thing before
we had the lockdown, but the garage that I was training, I had no signal.
Yeah.
And if your phone's on airplane mode, whatever, there is no distraction there, and I think that's definitely helped me. That's a lesson I've learned through COVID, is having that airplane mode switched on, and it's literally I've just got the program there and just reviewing footage.
I think that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
switch on airplane mode while we train.
It definitely helps focus on the task in hand.
Yeah, I'm shocking with it. Like if I see a message or an email, I need to reply to it, because otherwise, if I don't do it then and there, I'll forget, and then I get a snarky email or message going, "Why don't you reply?"
Yeah, it's easy done, especially with phones these days. Everything's on there. You get just had to cut the phone calls now. So a bit of a
there you go. Aggression intent, and the next upgrade to the gym is a Faraday cage, so you bastards can't sit there and scroll through Instagram.
Yeah, that's a session killer. We're quite quick on jumping on people to.
What's my Mads when she walked in last night, even though she won a prize pack, I'm going to throw her under the bus here. She walked in at 7:03. I said, I want to see a barbell on your hand by 1:30. So you got 23 minutes.
Yeah, get your floor work done and let's get into the session.
Yeah.
So definitely a good tip to increase your productivity and the effect your training session has on you. I think that's our questions, to be fair. I don't know if I missed. I know you've tagged me something in there to do with a rack.
Yeah. That's the ATX rack that I want for the home.
Actually, going back, I'm going to go back to that. And one of our guests on Saturday, Mike, you look at someone like Mike, when you talk about controlled aggression, you watch him in between his working sets, he's sat in the corner with his eyes closed with a towel across his lap. Headphones on, absolutely in the moment. And I don't know what he's thinking about in that time, but relaxing himself to a state where
Proper Yorkshire Gold.
he's thinking about the motherland roast dinners. But yeah, everyone's different the way they do it. Some people need to pace around in between sets and keep them up, and some people just need to close their eyes and listen to ABBA.
I was saying, when I was chatting to Luke last night, I said we got Mike on a podcast. He was like, "How do you swing that?" I asked him. It's one he'll listen to, because it's quite. I don't know if Mike's ever done them. Mike likes to play silly, like play dumb.
With social media and stuff. Very, very smart bloke though, isn't he?
He is though. He's very smart.
And he's had his foot in the trench for.
But I got to ask him what colour jocks he's got on for Luke. Probably one of our questions. Otherwise, Luke would be quite disappointed.
That'd be a good question for to put forward to him as well, and let him answer that, because he's got quite a unique way of.
Yeah, Aaron's question.
Yeah.
So yeah, train with intensity and controlled aggression, and what colour jocks do you have on?
Or if any.
Yeah.
Won't have any underwear on. Well, today, if you look at my Instagram story, there was a slight rip in the front of my thing, and the old fruit of veg was hanging out with the boxes over the top, not flesh. Keep it clean.
Little blue camel toe hanging out your snatch bands.
And I spent $85 on them trousers, and they're a pile of shit.
Those Nike ones.
Yeah. Because I keep losing training kit.
I don't know whether your missus is throwing it away or it's blown off the balcony.
I don't know. We argue about that quite a lot. But I don't know where it's going, but I've been losing a lot of training kit, and those Nike trousers for $80 were a pile of crap. They ripped everywhere.
There you go. Well, down the line, I think that side of trade-in apparel is something that we do want to touch on, but it is down the track.
Down the track, yeah. There's a lot of technicalities. Is that the word? There's a lot of material.
Yeah,
considerations, and it has to be right, doesn't it?
It does. We don't want to put it out there for the sake of putting it out there.
Yeah, we don't want people squatting arseholes blowing out in a pair of our shorts, do we?
Well, if that's all our questions, we're going to leave it on a blown out arsehole.
In true style.
So, well done to Madlo and Griffo. We'll send you both a message, get your sizes, get that out to you. Next 2 episodes we'll have guests. Big Luke, Big Mike.
And Luke, yeah.
They'll both be really good. Keep an eye out on YouTube for the video of Dan and I attempting a WOD.
Yep, first and last time.
So, and we'll have a couple more videos outside of the podcast coming along soon. couple of ideas kicking about. So
check out the website.
Check out the website.
DNSstrength.com.
That's it.
Instagram at DNS Strength Collective. At DWally10.
Sean 2.0. And don't forget, if you're watching the video, leave us a like, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you've got any questions, you can leave them on the YouTube video as well. Share it with a friend, it'll help us out, help grow that side of things. We want to put more into production there.
Absolutely.
And that's another week and another one done.
Episode 10. Done.
All the best, guys. Talk to you next time.
Have a good week. Take care.